Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the slight technical issue. We were unable to bring you qualifying action of the SRA GT3 Series at Oulton Park. My name is Scott Newton, and tonight in the booth joining me is Dave Christie. Welcome, Dave. Should be a pretty interesting race. Tight, twisty track at Oulton Park. So, what are your thoughts on this race today?
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me on, Scott. It's shaping up to be a fantastic race. We're coming to the end of the Sim Racers Asia GT Championship. Lots to play for. Really, really exciting action during qualifying. Big story, of course, Mike Burdett, car number 404, who's currently second place in the Pro-Am Championship, finishing qualifying all the way in 20th place, just didn't get a good lap in, and that is going to play massively on his championship chances this year. But going back to the race here at Oulton Park, brilliant track, really fast, lots of tight, twisty turns, very technical with these high power GT3 cars, lots of potential for some mayhem.
Yeah, just as we're coming around to the final corner now, I'll just get you to run through the top five. It looks as though there's quite a balance of BMW, McLaren and Audi in the top five, so it looks as though just as the safety cars coming in and they were off, and just looks as though BMW in the front has got a massive jump. Looks like Daniel Benefield, car number 34, has got a great start. Paul Nelson in second, and P3 Kevin Wong challenging. So the car behind him is running a little bit deep, but everyone looking as though they've got plenty of start for it.
Yeah, great start there from Dan Benefield from Paul Nelson in second place. Paul's, of course, in the Audi R8 LMS. Dan Benefield in the BMW. You've got the MP4 behind them. He's run really well, actually qualified second place, but they've major experiences between Kevin Wang and Paul Nelson. Just looking back further forward as well, for Mike Burdett, he has had an absolutely horrific start. He is right at the back of the field. I'm presuming he's had some sort of an off because he's so far behind the main pack at the moment, Scott.
Yeah, I think I saw in the background that he ran off at was it turn 4, the little left-hand kink before the hairpin, Shell Oil's corner. So yeah, bit of a troubling start for Mike Burdett, but he's coming up to the back of Matt Chinosky, so yeah, he just lets him go. So yeah, Mike Burdett
Jump in there, Scott, but Kevin Wang was making a big move there on Paul Nelson. They were side by side as they were coming into the corner there, but Kevin's had to back off quite a bit there, and Paul Nelson gets about half a second's gap between him and third place. But the rest of the order then is Chong King Gang in fourth place and Gongru Gang in fifth place, I believe that is, as well, as we wait for the positions to update themselves.
So yeah, looking around about P7 at the moment. Lachlan Crowe about half a second behind Jan Brasino. Fairly good mix around this part of the field. Merck, Audi R8 LMS, and even a Ford GT. Not a car that you typically see this far up the grid, but yeah, Stephen Bouquet doing an excellent job in the Ford GT car.
Yep, and then after that is Leonardo de Oliveira, followed by Benjamin Brook. Benjamin Brook's been doing really well this season in the Audi R8, and then behind him is Julio Herrera in 11th place, and that is the top 10, top 11 cars, split by less than 8 seconds so far. So as you can see that up to right about Stephen P14 Cash Joy. The number 8 car is 9.8 seconds behind the leader, so we're 2 laps in, and we've already got about 10 seconds spread over the top 14 cars.
So yeah, looking at the front, yeah, Daniel Benefield, yeah, streaking away at the moment. Last lap of a 28.9, comparing to the two behind him of Paul Nelson and Kevin Wang of a 29.3 and a 29.2. So yeah. Daniel may have a little bit less fuel, or it might be just that extra downforce that's greater suited to this BMW.
Well, I think looking at the battle for second and third place, to explain why Daniel's getting away, he's putting massive amount of pressure right now on Paul Nelson with that Audi R8, and it looks like he's going to be trying to make a move now. He's got a section across the right hand side, they're side by side as they go down the back straight here. They're going to come to the right hander, and I think Kevin Black's going to take this place.
Yeah, it's a good job by Kevin there, getting into the Knocker Hill chicane, as Paul Nelson just gets a little bit loose on the exit curve of the chicane there. So Paul maybe struggling a little bit, but it's a really good job from Kevin to take over the second place there.
Yeah, absolutely, and you see now, getting back to what you were saying there, Scott, about Daniel Benningfield getting a bit of a gap there. Paul's already been caught up by Chol Kyun Gan, and I wonder if this is the race that he wants to catch up with Daniel Benningfield.
Yeah, well, we know from previous races that the McLaren's got a hefty top speed advantage, but we'll have to see what Kevin's pace is. Dan's last lap at 28.9, similar to his previous lap before that, so really consistent. But Kevin's last lap was also 28.9, so Kevin's actually matching Daniel at the moment, so we'll see whether he's able to catch up with. He's still got a lot of time, just under 40 minutes to go in the race.
Yeah, that's right. We're just over 8 minutes so far in this race. I am wondering if Kevin is going to try his best to catch up. If we go back to points-wise, Kevin really needs to get as many points out of this weekend as possible. With only 3 championship races left to go in this season, Kevin is definitely poised for a very good finish this weekend.
Yeah, with the likes of Colin Klopman and Anthony Winkelman possibly competing in the Blackhall Pro Series. As you say, Kevin definitely needing to maximise the points that have on offer today. I think it's 60 points for the win and 53 for second place. So those 7 points will definitely come in handy if Kevin pulls off the win today.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's huge news that Anthony isn't taking part this afternoon here at the Sim Racers Asia GT3 Cup, because obviously he leads the championship at 270 points there, Scott. Kevin Black is with 195 points, so if he was, and we'll not put too much pressure on the young lads, but if he was to take 60 points today, that would move him within 15 points of the championship, just 3 races to go. So the stakes are incredibly high, but I think he'll just be concentrating on getting a good solid finish rather than pushing too much.
Yeah, I've just seen in the background Benjamin Brook just making a little bit of a mistake going into turn 4, just running a little bit wide and catching the grass, so a bit of an unfortunate mistake for Benjamin, but Castroy's been able to make up a position into P10, so an unfortunate errors. Benjamin looking up the inside and ended up making a huge move, but just misses the braking point, and he'll get a slowdown penalty for that, so he'll have to let Castroy back through.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's well spotted there, Scott. Benjamin, so often happens when you have a bit of a moment, the adrenaline starts kicking in, and you're more than vulnerable to making a second or a third mistake directly after that, but it does look like he's dropping way down the order with that slowdown there.
Okay, just looking further back up the field, battle for P7 and P8, Stephen McCabe and Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira. Currently the gap is about 0.8 of a second, and also the driver ahead of them, Jan Brezina. No, he's a little bit further on the road, so is it just a lap car that they're coming up to? So they're coming up to Mike Burdett, so Mike Burdett already going a lap down, so Mike just struggling a little bit more than he initially thought out there today.
Well, I'm looking at it, actually what it is they're coming up to the for third, fourth and fifth. There's a train going on right now behind third place of Paul Nelson, Scott, and he's holding up Chil Kyun Gang, Dong Woo Gang and Jan Brezina is catching up at the back of that train. This is a 4-way battle right now for third place that's all kicking off.
So front two striking out roughly about a second and a bit quicker than the train of Paul Nelson all the way back to the other team. So Paul possibly struggling a little bit, maybe overheated the tyres. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Kwan was all over the tail of him, pushing him to do things that maybe he wasn't ready for him to do, and he's quite, as you say, quite likely eating up the tyres. He's got all the pressure of Gang behind him, as well as Dong Woo Gang, and if he gets taken by one, you've got to say he could quite easily end up in a couple of laps down in 7th place.
Yeah, also you've got to watch out for the track limits as well. It can be quite punishing as well. So yeah, Kevin just trying to make sure that he stays within the track limits just to not get a penalty from the officials there. So that might be a little bit struggling with, but yeah, there's loads of pressure from Jordan in the game. He's on the defensive move, Nelson, so guys going to have to go around the outside and yeah, going too wide, or as they make a little bit of contact through the chicane there. So yeah, Nelson able to hold on just that little bit, but yeah, lots and lots of pressure from home, and they're losing a lot of time to the front two.
Yep, Scott, contact, that's frustration kicking in. He's getting fed up now, being held up. He knows he's faster than Paul Nelson. Mark my words, within the next lap he's going to try and get past. There's going to be contact, and it's either going to end in tears. It's going to be an amazing move for Chil Kyun Gang. But moving up to the front as well, looks like Kevin Huang is settling down. That gap is now up to 3.2 seconds. A couple laps ago it was down at 2.8 seconds, so the gap is increasing. And Daniel Fairfield, who really hasn't had much of a show in this season, having an amazing performance in this race so far.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see Daniel back in the car. Just a bit of a break during the season, moving teams. But yeah, it's good to see him back in the car, and yeah, definitely a strong showing from him today.
I tell you what, I'm struggling to speak right now because I'm waiting with bated breath. Chil Kyun Gang, Paul Nelson, they are weaving all over the track to fight each other right now. You've got to wonder how much longer is this going to last, because it's surely a little bit far back from making the move this time round. It was much closer that last lap, but you know, it's going to be one of these laps now. The train is just growing and growing. Stephen Mulcahy's down in 7th place. He's managing to catch on very quickly. He's within 2 seconds of jumping onto this train, as is Leonardo de Oliveira. Very well could have a 5-car train for third place going on shortly.
Just looking at the lap times between Stephen and Leonardo comparing to Paul, yeah, they're within about 7 or 8 tenths of a lap. So yeah, within the next, say, looking at the gap, say 3 laps, they'll be right on the tail. So yeah, it'll be an even bigger train, I would say. So looks like yeah, Chil is closing even further. So going into Cascades now, he's having to stay behind in the draft. So as he gets right up the back, he's just a little bit frustrated that he can't get past at the moment. So yeah, Audi's just able to hold on just that little bit that the BMW just can't get past there. It looks to say that yeah, the Audi got a really good exit out of the hairpin there. So Game's just having to go really aggressive, and Nelson's just staying in the middle of the track and holding onto the position there into the hairpin, sorry, the chicane there.
Yeah, and we've seen earlier that Paul Nelson really struggles under pressure, so I'm wondering if Chil is not going to try and make the pass, but he's going to try and force Paul Nelson into making a mistake here. And you know, this is for third place. Dong Woo Gang is slipped off the back of him a little bit, so the two of these two of Paul Nelson and Chol Kyun Gang have maybe switched away because Stephen Bacade and Jan Brezina aren't anywhere near as close as they were before.
It's also worth mentioning that Gang might actually try and undercut if he feels as though it's getting held up a little bit, because they are restricted in terms of a fuel tank size, so it might be interesting to see whether Gang and Donington Gang as well pit just that little bit earlier to get the undercut and jump Nelson.
That's a very good point, and Scott, I mean, let's turn our attention to tactics and strategies. What are your thoughts on this? When are we likely to start seeing some cars?
From previous races, looking anywhere from the latest that people have pitted, probably about 15 minutes to go. So pretty much the window is open from right now until I would say about 15 minutes to go. So you've got another 15-minute window. So probably another 10 laps. So it's quite a large window currently. So, but yeah, they'll be taking about I'd say 40 to 45 litres in the tank to get home from here. So just depends on when they meet us to. It was just see that the Gang just nearly got alongside there, but couldn't make the move. But always Nelson makes a mistake. Gang's alongside and Gang's up past him. So. Yeah, so really good move from Gang there. So Paul Nelson will be under pressure from another Gang there, but yeah, so
that was fantastic, Scott. Really nice move. Chol Kyun Gang moving up the third place then, and you've got to say that he really did just keep him nicely pressured, keep him on the boil, right on his back tilt for a couple of laps there. And Donington Gang now is going to be trying to take advantage of Paul Nelson. And as we said, Paul Nelson now has really had such a great start, but has overput those tyres because he's really struggling to keep up with the pace of these guys here. And it looks like they're side by side going down in towards the chicane there, and a great move there from Donington Gang to take fourth place from Paul Nelson, and Paul Nelson loses another place, Scott. So looking further down, Paul Nelson then in the fifth place, and he's still around 5 seconds ahead of Jan Brezina in the Mercedes AMG there. Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira is 2 seconds behind them in 7th place. Junio Pereira in 8th place is 23 seconds behind leader, so that's around about 4 seconds behind Leonardo de Oliveira. And let's have a look then. Cash Troy in 9th, Benjamin Brook in 10th, Simon Jorge Sanchez in 11th, Adam Utri in 12th, Daniel Lee in 13th, Kim Kyong Eo in 13th place there, sorry, 14th place there, Matt Shumsky in 15th. Mike Burdett is doing his best at a recovery drive here, 16th place, 404. I tell you what, that car is definitely not found. Little techie joke there for you guys, see? You like that? No. Jim Shumsky in 17th place is the last of the cars on the lead lap. And then we move down to Lachlan Crow. Stephen McCain has had a bit of an issue there because he's now a lap behind. Tae Woon Ha is 1 lap behind as well. Moon Park in 21st, 4 laps behind. Frederico Teixeira is 10 laps behind, doing his best to get whatever he can out of this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that Steve has disconnected from the server because I don't see him on track at all. So whether he's had a crash or whether he's just brought it into the pits is an unfortunate event. So
quite possibly then with Stephen McCain as well. It's just gone down on my tiny screen as 1 lap down as well, and quite possibly the 2 of them or 3 of them have been coming into some sort of mischief. But anyway, back to the race in hand. And Kevin Huang still trailing Daniel Benefield. The gap is increasing now even more, just under 7 seconds as we go towards the halfway distance marker in the race here at Oulton Park.
yeah, Dan Benefield is doing lap time similar to 1 minute 29.2, and Kevin actually doing similar lap times to Daniel. So yeah, gap ever so slightly building, but yeah, I'm actually surprised at the pace of the McLaren around here actually, because typically this would have been BMW preferred track. So yeah, Kevin doing a really good job in the McLaren on today at Oulton Park.
Yeah, definitely. Seems to be the top running McLaren by a long shot. I'm just looking down the field here to see who else is actually in McLaren, and I'm really struggling. I think it might be Kim Kyung-eo down in 14th place. It's the only other MP4 that I can see on the track here, anywhere near Kevin Kwan in 2nd place.
But yeah, looking at say the top 5, so P3 is also BMW, and the P4 and P5 are Audi R8s. So yeah, nice balance in the top 5. Just looking at the first Mercedes in the field, and that's Jan Brezina in P6, doing a really good job for Blackhall Motorsports. Yeah, currently in P6, last lap time of 30.1. And then the driver behind him from Macau Sim Racing, Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira. So it's slowly growing out to 2.8 seconds between Leonardo and Jan there. So with 25 minutes to go, well, we're coming up to halfway distance plus 1 lap. So it'll be interesting to see when these guys pit. As I've seen that Benjamin is the only car that's pitted so far, but that's he's actually just come into the pits now. So he's trying to go and play the long game now. So he's just coming out of the pits now. He looks as though he's going to rejoin back in 17th place.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. Obviously, we saw Benjamin having a bit of an issue earlier on in the race. I believe it was around about lap 4 or lap 5 where we saw him go off the track, trying to defend position too hard. And straight on chicane, obviously, incurring slow down. So he's overcooked the tyres a little bit, and he'll be trying his best. And I've got no doubt he's a really good racer. I'm pretty sure that coming in for that early pit stop, well, I say early, it's not really that early, but being one of the first to pit, he'll be able to make up a few positions. So that means that looking reasonable. He's certainly the low 130s, which is good enough to get him up into, I would say, about 6th or 7th place, but we'll soon see.
Yeah, I'm just having a look around him. The closest gap to the car in front is about 8 seconds to Tim Szymanowski, so it's got a little bit of clean track, so you should be able to get some really good lap times to try and get the undercut of the cars in front. So I just seen that another car's in the pits. So Daniel Lee jumped in the pits as a lap car. Was that Main Park just letting Matt Szymanowski through?
Yeah, so Danley in the pits from 11th place. Adam Nutri moves up to 11th place. He's taken on all the fuel that he's going to leave the pits, and that he's going to rejoin in, let's see, that's going to be quite far down the order now.
Yeah, so 7th place, but yeah, Benjamin's actually managed to jump him with a 4 second slower stop. So possibly the Audi's needing to take that little bit of extra fuel just due to the possible higher fuel burn rate of the Audi there. So yeah, Benjamin looking in a strong position at the moment, but yeah, it's
the screen here, Paul Nelson has moved ahead of Dongwu Gang. He's now 2 seconds ahead. Paul Nelson was down in 5th place. He's taken that 4th place back from Dongwu Gang, who was right on the tail of Chol Kyun Gang. And I'm not sure what's happened there. We'll have to see if we can get a replay of that going on. But yeah, obviously a big move there for Dongwu Gang. Loses the place to Paul Nelson, and he's going to have to go through all that work again. But now he's got Jan Brezina right on his tail.
Yeah, it was possibly a little bit of spin. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch that. but yeah, maybe Dom Regain's maybe struggling on the tyres a little bit. Might be able to check the track temperature. I saw that it was a 19-degree ambient, partly cloudy, roughly 34-degree track temp. So it's not overly hot, but drivers pushing the tyres a little bit more and generating that bit of extra heat, which is just sending the cars wide and possibly creating that little bit of oversteer that they don't really necessarily want, just to try and close up to the guys in front or to get the cars behind. So yeah, Donington Games just looking to close back up on Paul Nelson there after the brief mistake that he made. So also just in the background, Jan Brezina jumping in the pits there as well. So he's jumping in just after halfway, so he'll be taking on the necessary fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, just watching for the Mercedes to leave the pit as it drops down a couple of places there, and in fact I'm wondering, has Jan Brezina just retired?
No, it's
I lost him to the view there, I was panicking, poor Jan. He's back safely out on track, don't worry, panic over. Right. So we'll have to see where he returns back onto the track there, and does he still keep 7th place?
Yeah, just jumped out behind.
Cash Troy there. Sorry, Scott, Cash Troy having a big moment coming into the pits there. I just saw him going sideways as he was trying to recover. Now I'm wondering if that was just too much gas after his pit stop, or if he's had to make a drive through, because that car was definitely pointing the wrong way in the pit lane there. Very, very worrying moment there for Cash Troy, and that's going to put him further down the field.
Yeah, I'm just trying to actually get a replay up on screen, so we'll just see. It's just coming up to the top of the hill. Yeah, it didn't look as though it was a very fast entry, but he must have accidentally just pulled over to the side there. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, it's been unfortunate for Cash Troy there. So no harm done, but yeah, just unfortunately a slow pit stop, as he's had a 21-second pit stop. So he's rejoined back in P15 behind Daniel Leap. So about a 4-second gap to the car in front there.
So we are coming up for 30 minutes race time gone here in this 45-minute plus 1 lap race here for the Sim Racers Asia GT3 Cup at Oulton Park this weekend. Your current race leader is Daniel Benefield from 8 seconds over Kevin Huang. Then it's Kevin Huang in 2nd place, Cho Hyun Gang in 3rd place, and Dom Rugang in 4th place. Leonardo de Oliveira in 5th place currently, Paul Nelson in 6th, and Julio Pereira in 7th place. Right, now time round up, goodness me.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the battle for P9 and 10 as Jan Brezina is able to get past Adam Utri there, possibly into the hairpin there. So unfortunately I've just missed that. We'll see if we can get a replay on that. But yeah, good position gain there for Jan Brezina. Just after his pit stop, around about a 16 to 17 second pit stop. So just have to see where he'll filter out after the pit stop phase. Comparing the guys ahead, as we see that no one else is coming into the pit lane as of yet. So
yeah, but we do see Paul Nelson having another wild moment, presumably on lap 17 there. Did a lap time of 1:41.695. That's too fast for a pit stop, but it obviously means he's had a bit of a moment, and that moves him all the way down to 6th place. So that hard work that he did to get himself back up in the 4th place there, Scott, has come undone. He's now just within a few seconds of Junio Pereira. But I do wonder, did Sonny mentioned earlier that his track limit I wonder how the instant count is wrapping up for himself, because he's putting wheels onto the grass left, right and centre here, and he's going to be incurring the wraths of the stewards, I would think, if he's going to keep that sort of behaviour up.
Yeah, also have to factor in that if there's any damage on the car with the small contacts that he's had with Chilcombe Gang when they were battling earlier on in the race, so that could also be a factor. Whether he's just struggling out there with a small bit of damage I can see on the left rear side of the car. But yeah, Paul's actually pushing quite well at the moment. Last lap time of 31.5 I can see, so, and just comes across the line now with 30.5. So he's still got the pace out there, but he's just pushing ever so slightly.
And he seems quite safe with Junio Pereira behind him, because Junio is doing 131.143. So that's about, almost 0.6 of a second slower than Paul Nelson. So if that was the Group 1, Paul is reasonably safe in that position. Yeah,
definitely. Junio might be fuel set. Oh, we're just seeing that car behind. Junio. So it might, no, sorry. But yeah, there was a car up behind him. Junio possibly fuel saving. I'm not sure whether that's his genuine pace. Junio's quickest lap of the day was a 30.3. So yeah, just a little bit off the pace there. I can see a little bit of damage on the back of his car, but whether it's his ultimate pace at the moment, we'll just have to see. Still got 14 minutes to go before the end of the race.
Yeah, and so far it's been an absolutely dominant performance from Daniel Benefield up in P1 there, leading in second place by 8.451 seconds, and is consistently about 0.2 of a lap faster every single time in this car. Kevin, though, will be looking towards those championship points, and brings him that a little bit closer to the championship. He's of course third place in the Pro Championship at the moment, Pro-Am Driver Championship, behind Mike Burdett, who has had an absolute howler this weekend. There's no other way to put it, although he has come back from being 20th on the grid to P11, but he's still going to be anything better than that. Mike Burdett coming in second place in the championship, and of course no Anthony Winkleman this weekend. Anthony was leading the championship by a good 80 points, or sorry, 74 points. That's all going to come right down now. Fair enough, it's not going to come down by what Kevin Huang would have wanted. Kevin would have wanted the 60 points to bring that lead down to 15, but it's still going to come down to around about, I think, maybe 19 or 20 points coming out of this weekend if the positions stay as they are, Scott.
Just also looking at, Adam Nutri, the current leader in the...
Sorry, jump in, stop. Kevin Huang into the pits as we speak.
Always a really quick stop for Kevin, 12.3 seconds, so we'll just have to wait and see whether Dan can have a similar stop. But yeah, Kevin rejoining in front of Paul Nelson, so that was really critical for Kevin there, so good job from him to stay out in front of Paul. Not much left, just over 12 minutes to go, so Daniel Benefield should be in the pits within the next 2 laps, I think. So just keep an eye on him as he's coming around the final part of the circuit now, just to see whether he comes in the pits this time. But it was really good in lap from Kevin there to maintain P3 there, as we see.
Yep, and as you said, Dan Benefield into the pits then behind. Taking Kevin Huang's lead. Kevin pitting the last lap, and let's see how quick this stop's going to be for Dan Bedenfield then. He needs it to be a nice simple stop. Quite a lot of cars there in pit lane. are still held, and I think Kevin was away by now, but he's still got about 8 seconds to spare on that one. Comes out, and let's see how that is going to go.
Yeah, I actually see that Daniel had a 9/10 of a second quicker stop, so Daniel actually gapping Kevin, so the gap now currently is about 10.4 seconds to P2.
Wow, that's a huge stop then. That's solidified the advantage that Dan Benfield has over Kevin Kwan there. We saw Cho Kyun Gan going into the pits as well, and the rest will surely be very close behind.
So, just looking back at P13 and P12 at the moment, two teammates of Junior Pereira and Simon Jorge Sanchez. Gap currently 1.2 seconds, and it looks as though that Junior has just had an outlap, so looks as though gap is slightly increasing between the AMG driver of Pereira and BMW driver of Sanchez there.
Yeah, and a couple of drivers will be happy that they're able to unlap themselves there. But here is your current race rundown then, with just over 8 minutes left to go here in the race. Daniel Benfield currently leads from Kevin Wang by, we believe, around about 10 seconds after the first round of pit stops. And it was a way to run down. There we go, that's him just starting to cross the line now. Cho Kyun Gan is in 3rd place. He is going to be around about 18 to 20 seconds behind them, followed by Paul Nelson in 4th place. Was going to be Paul Nelson in 3rd, who is briefly in 3rd, but he's still yet to make a stop. He stops now. He's going to drop all the way down to 5th or 6th place, I think. John Wigan currently in 5th. Jan Brezina in 6th place, Leonardo de Oliveira in 7th, Matt Shinosky in 8th, Tim Shinosky in 9th, Adam Gucci in 10th, Daniel Lee in 11th place, Junio Pereira in 12th, Simon Jorge Sanchez in 13th, Cash Troy down in 14th, Mike Burdett in 15th, and that is the cars that are currently racing at the moment. King Sean Yeo is in 16th, and I believe he is the last of them that are running. Lachlan Crow, Tae Wong Ha, Benjamin Brook, Min Park, Stephen Bacade, Federico Texiera, Alex Chung, and Alex Cerny are in the race.
Just so on the exit of the pit lane for Nelson, he got held up by traffic there, so just having a look to see, he got jumped by Leonardo and Lopez de Oliveira, so it was a good job for Leonardo to jump Paul Nelson there in the stop, but a little bit of an issue there for Paul as he got stuck in a little bit of traffic on the exit of the pit lane there.
Yeah, it's really not been used up for him. He's really been putting everything, including the kitchen sink, into this race, and he's just been tumbling down the order. Races like this, you really do have to feel sorry for him. But 5th, 6th place is still a respectable finish in this sim racing cup. It's it's all about the consistency over the week, over the season, and you won't be too unhappy with that.
Yeah, definitely. With 2 races to go after this, I can't remember off the top of my head where we are next week, but it should come down with the championship going down to the wire, as you say, that with Winkelmann not here and a couple of other drivers in the top 5 not here. So it's actually shaping up to be quite an excellent finish to this season 3 of SRA GT3 Series.
Yep, and of course next weekend we're at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and for the final event, November 26th, we are at Silverstone for the historical version of the circuit with the reverse grid. That will throw all sorts of spanners into the work for the final race. But looking forward to that final race. Kevin Kwan is in the money seats and the penny seats right now, because he's going to be moving himself, leapfrogging over Mike Burdett into second place in the championship, and he's going to be sitting pretty to take on Anthony Winkelmann for the series crown. And it's been very interesting to see Leonardo de Oliveira solidifying his position at the top of the Clubman Championship as well. Leonardo currently is in fifth place in his race, and he is currently on 185 points ahead of his nearest competitor, Junior Pereira, who's currently in second in the championship on 163 points. So a fantastic afternoon for Leonardo de Oliveira here for the Clubman's Cup.
So yeah, just looking at the battle for P4 at the moment between Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira and Paul Nelson. So Nelson on 20.7 last lap, so roughly about 1.3 seconds quicker last time by compared to Oliveira. So it looks as though Paul's been able to find the pace that he had right at the start of the race, and is all over the back of Oliveira in the closing stages with about 5 minutes to go in the race.
Well, huge news there is Cho Hyun Gan, who was in fourth place, who went into the pits. That's why Leonardo de Oliveira moved up to fourth place there, Scott. Cho Hyun Gan has retired from the race for the looks of it.
I'm just actually going to see whether I can get a replay up on screen of what happened, but yeah.
He just pulled the car into the pits, and looks like he's just decided to retire. That's incredible. He was doing really, really well. It's very unusual. But we have to turn our attention now as the time hits 43 minutes. We're down to our last 2 minutes of the race here. We'll then have one more lap. It's currently Daniel Benefield from Kevin Huang from Donington. And then it's Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira, Paul Nelson, Jan Rosina, Adam Mitchell, Daniel Lee, Junior Pereira, Simon Jorge Sanchez, Mats Shinosky, Mike Burdett, Cash Choi, Tom Shinosky, Kim Keong-oh, and that is your top 15 at the moment.
I just see that Nelson making a small mistake as he's on the inside of Lopez de Oliveira, so Nelson decided to give that back to position and trying again. But yeah, Nelson all over the back of de Oliveira is coming up into the chicane there, so he's a little bit too far back. But yeah, we've still got about 4 minutes to go, Dave. The session actually counts the pace lap as well, so I see that there's 4 minutes to go. But yeah, so we're looking at about 3 laps to go. Currently, just depends on whether Dan Benefield crosses the line and where we see the white flag. So,
see, Scott, that's why we've got you here to keep me right on turn. Paul Nelson, though, as you say, absolutely all over the back of Leonardo de Oliveira here. This has got Dong Wugan and Paul Nelson all over it again. This is incredible stuff here. Surely it's just going to be a matter of time before Paul Nelson can take over Leonardo de Oliveira, and he's in the slipstream now. Is he going to be able to do it around about the second half of the circuit here?
Just to say that he was looking to get a good exit out of Cascades there, and yeah, he's all over the back of Oliveira at the moment, but yeah, decides to hang back into the show oil hairpin there. Just looking to get a good exit out of here, using the camber and the road to get a good exit, good traction. Looks as though that Oliveira was actually able to pull a little bit of the gap. Must have had an even better exit. But yeah, Nelson's just a little bit too far back to make it into the chicane there.
Yeah, it does feel like Paul's maybe just to hang back a little bit. I mean, we've only got a couple, maybe 2 laps left to go here in the final stages of the race. Paul Nelson, we're really going to have to get a move on, like I say, it's dropping a little bit back from Leonardo de Oliveira. It's possibly just regaining his composure to go and have another go here.
Yeah, just looking at the standings at the moment, yeah, this is actually the closest battle on track, but yeah, there's some other close battles between Dan Leet and Adam Nutri at the moment, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But looking at the battle here, looks as though that Oliveira had a half decent exit, but yeah, was able to stay ahead of Nelson into Cascade. So yeah, he's actually doing a really good job holding off the Audi behind. But yeah, Nelson's just pushing as hard as he can just to try and to make the position there. As Oliveira just runs a little bit wide on the head, but able to get good traction on the exit there, so able to maintain the gap there.
Yeah, he was trying to go on the inside of that right-hander there, but just could not make that work for whatever reason as we come up to the tight right-left section. And this is where we find that Paul Nelson has to just back off and just isn't close enough to get the nose in front here.
Yeah, I just saw that he ran a little bit wide on the exit for the right-hander there, so just losing a little bit of track position there to get out to 0.6 of a second. So, but yeah, he's in the draft, so he'll be closing back up with 40 seconds to go. So I reckon we'll see one more lap as when the leader crosses the line. So you'll have to let me know when the white flag comes out.
Certainly will do that, my friends. Oh, big moments for both of them there. Leonardo de Oliveira and Paul Nelson both having a bit of a wiggle there, coming out this exact same corner there. And this happens so very often. So when we've got a driver following so behind, before the driver in front goes off, very easy just to follow them and do exactly what they do. You should pick up on pick up on their braking markers every single time. They're just trying to beat them by that little inch, by that little millimetre there is Paul Nelson comes up against Leonardo de Oliveira there, can't quite make it stick, but this is all mind games right now. Don't really use this all mind games, this is just Paul Nelson making that car as wide as possible, letting Leonardo de Oliveira know, hello, I'm here, I'm in your mirrors, deal with me.
Yeah, I just want to apologise. We actually missed the leader coming across the line, but yeah, Dan taking the lead, taking the win from Kevin Wang. Really good dominant performance from Daniel there. Second place, Kevin Wang. Donington gang just coming up across the line to finish in P3. So yeah, really good job from the podium there. We'll just watch the battle as De Oliveira actually able to hold on to P4 as yeah, he done a really good job and got a good exit. So Leonardo able to hold off Paul Nelson there. So and then Jan Brezina in P6 did a really good job. Nice consistent from him, finishing P6. For some reason, showing that Nelson falling down the order for me, but yeah. So Daniel Lead coming across the line. Yeah. So we're just watching Adam Yutri cross the line now. So yeah, good job from him. Junio Pereira across the line now, and Sanchez coming across the line to running up the top 10 as he actually dives into the pits. So. As he finished the lap down. So really dominant performance from Dan, lapped all the way up to P10. So yeah, dominant performance from him.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is obviously we try and bring the most exciting action that's happening on the track, and when Dan has been so dominant as he was in that race, being a full 13 seconds behind, in front of Kevin Wang, you know, it's natural for us to focus our attention further down the field, but you know, by no means does that take away from what an absolutely fantastic job that was from Dan Benefield. Stunningly dominant performance there. Kevin Wang, I think he could have got maybe a little bit more out of that car, but I think he's just wanted to get a good solid position. He'll be thinking there's only another 2 races to go after this one. Wants to get a good finish Scott, to leave him in good standing for the remaining races. Dongwu Gang, again, really fast performance from them, but Leonardo de Oliveira and Paul Nelson, what an absolute crackerjack of a finish from those two, as well as Jan Brezina and Daniel Lee behind them as well. Just 0.8 of a second between Jan Brezina and Daniel Lee, and about 0.4 of a second between Leonardo de Oliveira and Paul Nelson for 4th and 5th.
Okay, so I'm just going to run through the final race results. So obviously Dan Benefield taking the win, 13 seconds in front of Kevin Wang. P3 Dongwu Gang, 41 seconds behind the leader. So P4 Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira, Paul Nelson, Jan Brezina, Dan Leet, Adam Utri, for Simon Sanchez, Matt Shinosky might be that, unfortunately, with the issues that he had here today. Tim Shinosky, Cash Choi, Kin Kyong O, Tae Won Hu, Lachlan Crow, Chol Kyung Gang, with the issues that he had. Unfortunately, Benjamin Brook finished a little bit down the order in P19. Min Park finished 6 laps down in P20, and Steve Bocade, with the last of the runners finishing 21 laps down, with Federico, Alex Chung and Alex Chuni not taking their start. So with the race results today, Dave, I was going to ask who your driver of the day was.
It's a difficult one because there was lots of battles going on, but I think quite clearly it has to go to Dan Benefield. He's not had the most consistent season. He's not had a lot of entries this season. Came out of the blue, took the pole, and just absolutely romped away with the win today.
Yeah, I think my vote's going to have to go to Leonardo Lopez de Oliveira, just for the fact that he was able to hold off Paul Nelson for the amount of time that he did. So congratulations to him. He earns my vote. Really strong driver. I think he's in the Clubman Series as well, so having some experience in that series, in that division myself, I certainly know the talent that he's got, and should be fighting up the front in Pro-Am whenever he decides to jump up. So yeah, he definitely gets my vote.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you brought up there, Scott. The fact that Leonardo is in the Clubman Cup, of course. His nearest competitor, Junio Pereira, finished in 9th place. He finished in 4th place. So that's some much needed points coming into the last 2 rounds, because that's going to bolster his lead at the top of the Clubman's Championship. He was on 185 points, and by my very basic maths, that's going to take him around about 227 points going into the final 2 rounds. I'm not going to even guess what Junio has gone on to, but Junio is still going to remain in 2nd place, and very interesting to see how that's going to pan out for the final 2 races.
Yeah, we'll just bring up the race winner, Dan Benefield, into the Apex Racing TV channel. Hey Daniel, welcome to Apex Racing TV, Sim Racers GT3 Series at Oulton Park. So just want to say congratulations on the win. How did you find Oulton Park today?
It's quite a tricky little track, to be honest. Quite narrow, not the most runoff in the world, so it is tricky, but I find it's a bit of fun as well.
So running the BMW today, did you think that that you had the pace over the guys of Kevin and Dongwu Gang behind?
Being a BMW track that helped, the short wheelbase of the BMW particularly through the second half of the lap. It was quite close there.
was a really good job. Just also, did you have much issues with the fuel, or was it? Did you find that you had just enough as you crossed the line as it was? So
I was actually hoping to get the extra lap, but that didn't happen.
So looking at was it Montreal next week, are you able to jump in for that one as well, given your dominant performance tonight?
Bit of maybe, bit like tonight, or maybe jump in for about 5 minutes of practice, see what happens.
Okay, so is there anyone that you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just a shout out to the guys at Blackhall Online, Steel Series, and ASL, I gotta check that one. Particularly Ricardo Lando though, he's helped out quite a bit with setups this week. Setup I should say this week, and he's got, mainly him, we've got a lot of pace out the car, so it's good.
No worries. Thanks very much, Danny, for popping into the Apex Racing TV booth, and I hope to see you for the next race, but yeah, we'll definitely catch up when you're next on the track.
Oh good, thanks guys.
No worries, take it easy. So Dave, just before we wrap it up, have you got any closing thoughts for tonight's race at Oulton Park?
I just, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for the final 2 races. Just the fact that it brings Kevin Kwan right back into the championship. If Anthony Winkleman doesn't make the last 2 races as well, it's then a straight fight between Mike Burdett and Kevin Kwan. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal finish to the series for the Pro-Am Drivers' Championship, and it also sets it up amazingly as well, with Leonardo taking the win for the Clubman down in 4th place. That brings the points quite close as well, and it definitely goes to the final 2 rounds. It's going to be an amazing finale at Silverstone in 2 weeks' time.
Not a problem. So I think that just about wraps it up for the SRA GT3 Series at Oulton Park. Coming up, we've got the iRacing Grand Prix Pro Series that's currently being broadcasted on iRacing.com. So if you wanted to head over there, certainly check that out. That's actually broadcasted by Apex Racing TV as well. So Alex Simpson, Adam Bath, and Andrew Woodhouse covering that. So that should be a good one. But here from Oulton Park, my name's Scott Newton alongside Dave Christie. I just want to say thanks for checking out Apex Racing TV, and we'll see you next week at Montreal.